Meetings. Meetings usually have a bad reputation. According to a survey taken by the company Auto.ai, about 46% of the survey responders said that they have unnecessary meetings on their calendar. Even from personal experience, I haven't met anyone who is super excited to attend all the meetings they're invited to. But one-on-one meetings with your manager are a whole different ballgame. With the right agenda and cadence, it could be extremely valuable to the progress of your career. In today's video, let's discuss why one-on-one meetings are important, how frequently you should have them, and how to make the most of your time with your manager. And please watch till the end because we're going to discuss many topics and themes that you usually don't discuss in other meetings. So why are one-on-one meetings so important? Because they provide dedicated time to discuss things that directly impact you, like your achievements, your goals, feedback, and your concerns. They give you an opportunity to get to know your manager better, understand their preferences, expectations, and how to have an effective working relationship. They also help build better communication and earn trust. If there is only one meeting you could attend, it should be the one-on-one with your manager. As we go through the topics and questions to be discussed in the one-on-ones, the importance will be even more apparent. So what's the ideal duration and frequency? Preferably, try to meet with your manager once a week for 30 minutes. If that's not possible, try once in 2 weeks for 30 to 45 minutes. If they get cancelled, make sure that you reschedule them within a day or two. One-on-ones are your time. Protect your time. There will be exceptions, but don't make them the norm. Now let's talk about how to prepare for them. You should come to the meeting with a clear agenda and goals in mind. Be ready to engage in an open and honest conversation. Think about what you want to accomplish during the meeting, what progress you have made since your last meeting, any issues or concerns you want to discuss. Here are a few tips to make them more effective. 1. Keep a shared document between you and your manager. 2. Add the discussion topics beforehand so that your manager can do some pre-work if needed. 3. During your one-on-one, write down everything you've discussed in that shared documents. This prevents situations where either of you may feel that we never discussed this. So what should you discuss during your one-on-one? I recommend dividing the topics of discussions into multiple categories such as career development and feedback, team and organization related, any challenges you might be facing, project related updates, and anything else. You should cover at least one of the topics every week and most of the topics every quarter. It doesn't have to be just about work. This is a good opportunity to get to know your manager as a person too. Understand their interests outside work, talk about their family, if they're comfortable talking about it, to build a rapport. Let's talk about some key topics and questions to discuss with your manager in the one-on-ones. These are just guidelines, so use your judgment and situation to tailor your conversation. 1, and probably the most important, career development. Ask about different growth opportunities in your company and how you can leverage them. Your manager has a huge role in your career progression, and they may be privy to some opportunities that are developing on the horizon and so can give you early line of sight. If you're looking for a particular type of opportunity, make the case for it early so they have you on top of their mind when the opportunity does arise. If you're looking to get promoted, do something called gap analysis with them, meaning that what have you already demonstrated, what is it needed to get promoted, and how do you bridge that gap? If you want to develop a specific skill set, make a case for how it will support your development on the job and how it will help the team as well. Then explore the opportunities and the resources and the support your manager can provide to connect you with those. Number 2 on the list is feedback. Talking about feedback is important because it shows that you're interested in self-improvement. Be open to receiving constructive feedback. You should seek frequent and actionable feedback if your manager is not proactively offering it. If your manager already gave you feedback, show how you're addressing it, preferably by giving specific examples or outcomes. Feedback works both ways. If you have any feedback for your manager, frame it appropriately and deliver it objectively. You don't want to seem like you're criticizing your manager, but rather point out behaviors or ways of doing things that could be done differently. This could be a sensitive topic, so tailor your communication style to the person and the situation. Third topic you could discuss is anything team related or organization related. If you're facing any difficulties with either a team member or team processes, objectively lay out the impact and things that you may have already tried to overcome those difficulties. This would position you better when asking for their guidance on how to move forward. Highlight the items that may need their involvement and escalation, and do this before it's too late. Managers definitely appreciate a heads up way before you need to hit the panic button. If you have any ideas or suggestions about trying something new or changing an existing processes like incoming bug review or on-call process, one-on-ones would be a good time to discuss that. You have the floor and hopefully your manager's undivided attention so that you can lay out the idea in detail and it does not get lost as a passing comment in one of the team meetings. Understanding the why behind your work is very important. If you're not very clear on how your work plays a role in your organization's plans, or if you're not clear on the organization's strategy and roadmap, one-on-ones would be a good time to clarify that with your manager. Talking about roadmap, contributing to your team's roadmap is a good way to accelerate your career growth. If you're not sure, ask your manager what factors contribute in formulating the roadmap and how you can play a role in building it. For example, if your team is trying to achieve some specific target metrics like revenue growth or latency reduction, delve into those so that your efforts are aligned with your manager's top priorities and shows your strategic thinking capabilities. Fourth thing you could discuss is any challenges that you may have. Good managers help unblock their team members. So if you're blocked on something, or if you're struggling to choose between multiple options, seek your manager's help in the one-on-ones. But make sure that you explain your thought process, actions taken, and the proposed course before asking for help. This shows that you're not simply asking them to do thinking and decision making for you, and you have done your fair share of lifting before seeking their opinion. The fifth thing to discuss is projects. While all the things that we discussed so far are important, in reality, you're probably going to spend more time discussing the status updates of your projects in your one-on-ones. This is fine, but just try to make sure that you are not repeating things that are already discussed in stand-ups or other meetings to save time. If you need additional time and/or resources, provide context and reasoning in your one-on-ones. It is also a good time to discuss tricky situations like new discoveries or changing requirements. It is important to bring these things up early to avoid surprises. It is better if your manager hears about them from you on time than from someone else. If you think the priority of the projects need to change or have questions about deadlines being hard or soft, these are also good points to discuss in your one-on-ones. Lastly, all the discussions don't have to revolve around work. If you need support in any personal situation, one-on-ones are ideal because you have privacy and your manager's attention. As I mentioned before, casual conversation to get to know your manager better also help in building trust and good working relationship. Managers are also humans, and it is always helpful to have good human connections. Last but not least, you don't have to make it all about you. Ask your manager if there is anything you could do to help them, or if you know how you can help, offer that help. This will go a long way in your own growth. That's it. These are some of the topics or themes that come to my mind. This is not a complete exhaustive list, but hopefully it'll give you an idea on what all things you can discuss in your one-on-ones. And hopefully you also understand why they are so important. They provide you an opportunity to connect and build a good working relationship with your manager, stay on track with your work, and provide a roadmap for your career growth. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.